In today's busy world, time is at a premium. We like to think we use our time productively, but as it turns out, all of us are doing simple tasks wrong every single day. Maximize your efficiency by learning what they are and how you can do them better. You can find out right now without having to sleep on it, because it turns out you're probably doing that wrong too. Here are 10 everyday things you've been doing wrong. Did you know that 78.3% of YouTube viewers don't know the ideal way to find best videos? To avoid being one of them, just click on the subscribe button to get the latest from the hub. Sleeping on your stomach. We all know that a good night's sleep is important, but how important is the way we get that sleep? Poor sleep positions can cause neck pain, impaired circulation, headaches, and more. It's something we do every night, so you think we'd be better at it. But it turns out, 7% of us are doing it wrong. Sleeping on your stomach can prevent snoring, but that's really the only selling point. This position makes it difficult to keep your spine in a neutral position, which can cause neck pain. This position also puts pressure on your muscles and joints, which is not conducive to waking up feeling like P. Diddy. If you absolutely must sleep in this position, try laying face down to keep your airway open, with your forehead propped up on a pillow for breathing room, because that won't look silly at all. Drinking soda. The tab on a can of soda is one of those brilliant inventions we take for granted. Before we open that refreshing can of soda, the tab is what engineers call a second-class lever. The force you apply only moves in one direction. When you lift the tab, the majority of force falls upon the opening, making the rivet easier to move. As soon as the can begins to vent, the tab becomes a first-class lever because the force changes directions around the fulcrum. Now that you've gotten it open, you just plop in your straw and enjoy your beverage. But not so fast. You don't want the straw moving around the can, making it awkward to drink from. Simply slide the hole in the tab over the opening in your can and slide the straw into it. The tab will hold it in place for you. Using ketchup. Now that you've gotten yourself a refreshing beverage, it's time to enjoy your meal. Grab your favorite condiment, conveniently poured into a tiny paper cup, and enjoy. But before you do, make sure you're not doing it wrong. These tiny condiment cups are more than meets the eye. While they might fit your French fries, you'll run into trouble trying to dunk your burger or chicken nuggets. But these cups are actually designed to fan out, maximizing the surface area for dunking. Simply pull the sides of the cup to open it up more. Think of the time you wasted trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. Or, well, a round burger in a too small ketchup container. Eating a cupcake. Time for dessert. Now, if you've ever tried to eat a cupcake neatly, you probably know it can be a losing battle. Not to mention the issue maintaining the delicate ratio of frosting and cupcake without unhinging your jaw like a snake. The answer to this conundrum is so simple, it may cause your jaw to drop enough to fit in a whole cupcake. Simply pull the bottom part of the cupcake off and put it on top of the frosting to create a perfect cupcake sandwich. No need to suffer through bites without frosting, or end up with too much frosting in your mouth, or on your nose depending on your motor skills. Changing your printer ink. Printer ink is a necessary evil. It's so expensive, but those TPS reports aren't going to print themselves. When your printer demands more of it, who are we to argue? Good? Bad? We're the ones with the paperclip. That's right, with a simple paperclip, you can get some extra ink out of your cartridge. After all, when your car's gas gauge lands on E, it doesn't mean your car is totally empty, just that it's running low. The same principle applies with your ink cartridge. Simply remove the ink cartridge and use a paperclip to press the reset button. Different brand printers can have slightly different steps, but the idea is universal. When your ink cartridge is finally empty, don't forget to recycle. Holding your cup. What's worse than consuming a beverage at the wrong temperature? Well, lots of things. But a warm beer is pretty bad too. A chilled mug is nice, but not only does it make your hand cold, it adds an extra step to you consuming your nice cold beer. Turns out the design of the beer bottle was created with this in mind. While most people hold their beer bottles from the fuller part at the bottom, they're actually meant to be held from the neck. This prevents the warmth of your hand from heating up your drink. The same is true for wine glasses. While it may be tempting to hold your glass by the bowl because of its greater surface area, you really want to hold it from the stem. Now you know the best way to keep your drinks cool and your hands warm. Cleaning a blender. Reaching your hand into a machine filled with metal blades seems like a bad idea, but surely you don't want your margaritas tainted with leftover spinach residue from your morning smoothie. It's definitely a good idea to wash your blender after every use, but there's a better way than your current method. Instead of using steel wool and a steel wheel, simply add some water and soap, close the lid, and turn it on. The blender will swish the water and soap around at high speed, cleaning the blades and interior of the blender. You can even add a drop or two of white vinegar for some extra cleaning power. Make sure to rinse it thoroughly when you're finished. This works best if you do it right after using the blender, before the substances inside have had a chance to dry. Removing keys from a keyring. The only thing more painful than giving your ex their keys back is removing them from the keyring. Instead of sacrificing your nails to do the task, just grab a staple remover to do the job quickly and easily. The sharp, thin blades of the staple remover are perfect for this task, and it's something you probably have laying around on your desk. Just slide them into the keyring and press gently to open it. This will allow you to add or remove keys easily. No staple remover? Try a coin. Just slide the coin into the opening and open it as if you were opening the tab of a soda can. Since we already went over how to do that, this method should be a snap. Dispensing a Tic Tac. Who among us hasn't ended up with a handful of Tic Tacs in our quest for a single treat? Well, if you were dispensing them correctly, you would end up with exactly one Tic Tac at a time. The makers of Tic Tac anticipated this problem and provided a simple yet ingenious solution. Start with turning the Tic Tac box upside down. Then grab the lip of the container and pull it open. The result is a single perfectly placed Tic Tac waiting for you on the lid of the container. Utilizing Chinese food containers. Few things are better than eating cold lo mein for breakfast. But if you're not anticipating leftovers, there's a simple way to both enjoy your food and avoid doing the dishes afterwards. We are all familiar with the iconic white and red boxes that Chinese takeout comes in, but it turns out we have been severely underutilizing them. Examine the sides of a box and you'll notice that there is a paper hook inside of the tab. Simply unhook these on both sides and spread the box open. No more getting your fingers greasy on your quest for more dumplings. These takeout containers make perfect makeshift plates for all your Chinese food goodness. Now that we've taught you how to streamline your everyday tasks for maximum efficiency, think of all the extra time you'll have. You could write a novel, learn a new language, or just learn more great tips by watching videos from the Hub. Which of these things have you been doing wrong? Don't worry, we won't judge. We were too. Thanks for watching. See you next time.